price of oil stays here, down at 20 bucks, you know what's going to happen? We're going to lose a lot of oil jobs. A few days ago, OPEC and Russia agreed to cut production by 9.7 million barrels a day. It did nothing. There's just too much oil around, not enough demand. So maybe it's time to think outside the box. Matt Gallagher, the 37-year-old CEO of Parsley Energy, one of the most forward-thinking, most disciplined players in the industry, has a creative idea. He wants the Texas Commission that controls the oil biz to impose statewide production cuts. You might say it's antithetical to free enterprise, but I think it's worth considering. Why should the OPEC nations be the only ones with an oil cartel? If it's a choice between state-mandated production cuts or widespread bankruptcies, I think it might be worth doing. Don't take it from me. Let's hear from Matt Gallagher, the CEO of Parsley Energy. Find out why a government-mandated cap on oil production might be the way to go forward here. Mr. Gallagher, welcome back to Mad Money.
Jim, great to be back. Thank you for having me. Great to be on Mad Money.
Thank you, Matt. All right, curbing production at a time when there is a massive oversupply in the oil markets, that can only help. How can that hurt?
That's right, Jim, and we need solutions across the globe. We saw OPEC take a stab at it, 9.7 million barrels a day. They were, of course, in a price war, and then they turned around abrupt face and have cut production 9.7 million barrels, but it's not enough. Of course, in this global pandemic, we have demand down close to 30 million barrels a day. That's the largest demand shock this industry has ever seen. We need to pitch in everywhere we can. Operators need to pitch in. We're doing our part at the Parsley level. We've cut forward-looking CapEx 66%. We need to see those broad announcements across the board. You're seeing on the tune of 50% announced across the board to date. But states need to pitch in. If Texas were a country, it would be the third largest producing country on the planet. It needs to start with Texas. The Railroad Commission did a great job hosting a 10-hour-long hearing to hear both sides of the argument for proration and taking the lead for the country yesterday.
Now, let's just understand, not every oil company is in favor of this. You want to prorate. Exxon came out against you. I'm sure other producers, too.
Sure. Through the course of about 10 hours of testimony, you heard a lot from both sides, varying degrees of opinions. Everybody agrees we want a healthy domestic energy industry on the other side of this. My stance is if we don't do something quickly in the face of a pandemic, you are going to cripple this domestic industry on the other side. And not just the operators. There's only 6 operators, by the way, that can produce enough production from their currently producing wells to pay off their debt in the next, without any additional drilling. We're one of those 6. So this isn't about us. This is about the service sector, 360,000 jobs just in the state of Texas, close to 1 million jobs across the country supported in the oil and gas sector and the service sector. If those companies are shut down for 2-3 months, they will not come back, and we will be reliant on domestic imports again, like we were before the last decade. So it's about the jobs in the American energy sector. The sooner that states can put a volume out there that they would be prorating to, the quicker that the global supply-demand imbalance will get back on track, and we can bring our industry back online.
Well, so Matt, why doesn't the president just write checks to everybody not to produce?
Well, that's one thing that the country is also, or that the industry has also been aligned on. We really like to do what we can ourselves first. We are not part of the recent stimulus package, just over $2 trillion of stimulus. We did not get $3 billion of support for the SPR. You are seeing some ideas floated out there. I do think we need to really constructively look at all ideas. If we are paid to, the best storage tank on the planet is the one Mother Nature built millions of years ago, and those are our reservoirs. So it's a creative solution to think about keeping it in the ground and some support payments while we keep it in the ground. It's been done in the agriculture industry for decades. So just now hearing about it would be part of a solution that we do need to look at.
I mean, in the end, when you consider the job loss and, more importantly, the national security that you guys give us, it seems like it's a very cheap price to pay versus building, 10 aircraft carriers, 10 submarines, paying off people in the Middle East. I mean, it is the most natural way to give basically what would have been foreign aid to American aid.
That's right, and not to mention risking our sons and daughters' lives. You saw the president ask the question at his White House meeting. We've spent $7 trillion in the Middle East, and what for? And here we have the domestic energy renaissance providing north of 13 million barrels a day. Of course, that's going on decline now. We have to match demand, but we need a strong industry to thrive so we can support our own demand here in the country.
I think it is very important to point out you had increased quarterly dividend. You had generated free cash flow in the second half of 2019. You are not some person who's looking for a bailout.
No, that couldn't be farther from the truth. We want to adhere to all the contracts, all our partnerships that we have. In this 10 hours of testimony, people question our intent and others' intents to this. We have a total of probably $26 million of rig contracts and $5 million of deficiency payments on contract pipe volumes that we would be willingly paying throughout the rest of the year. We are not fighting this for a $30 million charge. We are fighting this for the strength of the American oil and gas sector.
Last question. Are you finding people who have come forward and said they want to cut flaring the way that you did when you were on our show last time?
It was a bigger piece of the discussion yesterday. I do think they're two separate topics, but these are things that actually work together. If you cut the oil production, you're going to cut the associated gas production, and the flaring is going to come down as well. I think if the commissioners constructively look at not allowing flaring, you're going to moderate the production even more. So I think it's a great time where we can actually get in front and do some good things for the environment at the same time realigning the supply-demand imbalance.
Well, I welcome any oil company that disagrees with Matt to please come on air. I'd love to hear from you because I think that what he says is filled with common sense. That's Matt Gallagher, CEO of Parsley Energy. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, Jim.
Remember what I said. If you want to own an oil company, Parsley is one of the ones that you can own because it's conservative, it increased its dividend, it's got great acreage, and it's got real smart management. May have money's back after the break.
Don't miss a second of Mad Money. Follow @Jim Cramer on Twitter. Have a question? Tweet Cramer. #MadTweets. Send Jim an email to madmoney@cnbc.com or give us a call at 1-800-743-CNBC. Miss something? Head to madmoney.cnbc.com.